Hello, it's Alan.
And Betsy.
Coming to you from the agency in coastal Virginia. And do you think Zillow knows what your home is worth?
Nope.
Think again. Today, we're going to talk about Zillow.
But I feel like all of you think that you can trust Zillow because when I walk into your house, you always go, but Zillow said.
As soon as we hear that, because if you think we don't look at what Zillow says before we come out, we always do. You know why? Because we know you're going to. Here's the thing about Zillow. We've talked about it before. Zillow, they got some good things. You know why Zillow is Zillow? Because they went out early and built a website that made it easy to search for homes.
Yep.
And agents and
Phenomenal
MLSs.
home search.
Yep. Gave the ability, so they made it easy, okay? The easy button, kind of like Domino's Pizza, following the track, all that stuff. Easy button, they made it easy. But here's the thing about it. Zillow has never been in your house. Zillow has never been in any house. Zillow takes technology, looks at what things sold for, and here's the thing. It's kind of, I tell people this is new construction. You see the new construction starting price that's out there. That's kind of like the Zestimate and Zillow out there. They go, you can buy a house, you can put basic flooring, basic appliances, carpet in every room, never upgrade the light fixtures, go with their $300 light fixture allowance, whatever it is, and the house is worth a certain amount. But if you go in and put hardwood flooring, and solid surface countertops, and upgrade the appliances, and put phenomenal lighting in, you just added $100,000 to the house. So it could be off by that much. And I don't know about you, but $100,000 matters to me. Does $100,000 matter to you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I went with my Zillow Zestimate, I would lose, I don't even know, like what, $400,000?
Yeah. So here's what you got to understand. They just don't know what you've done inside your house, your backyard. They don't understand that. And in every market, even upgrades cost more, bring different value. Some markets, pools hurt the value. Some markets, pools are kind of basic. Some markets, pools greatly increase the value. If you don't have a pool, you're losing money.
Correct.
So Zillow doesn't really know all of those things.
Could be a hoarder house.
Yeah. They
Zillow
don't
ain't
know
been
that.
in it.
Yeah.
You could be a smoker house. Zillow hasn't been in it.
Yeah. It just doesn't know these things. So they use what's called an automated valuation model, AVM. They go out there and they use technology and algorithms and they do that. And guess what? They're constantly tweaking them and constantly changing them. We just had a house, quick, simple example, right over here in Bay Colony. And we go in and the seller was like, well, the Zestimates says 1.525 or something on it was about it. And we said, well, we're going to get you more. And once we saw what they had upgraded inside the house, how it looked and the pool and everything, I said, we're going to get you more than that. And they were like, well, 1.6. And we're like, well, we're going to market it at that, but we really think we're going to get you at least 1.65. 650, and they were like, ooh, that would be good. So the next thing we know, what the offer come in at? I know. $1,665,000 was $150,000 more than the Zestimate had told them. Now, like I said, $100,000 means a lot to me. $150,000 really means a lot to me. So that's why you have to understand. That's why Zillow's estimates are off sometimes. And guess what? Sometimes they're off the other way.
Oh gosh, yes. A whole lot of times they're off the other way. I mean, you know, and I have to explain that to people too all the time. And that's because you go into a neighborhood and you might be the ugly house. And I mean, I hate to say it like that, but you could be the house that has the smoker house, or you could be the house that didn't do any upgrades, or you could be the house that your dogs have wrecked the house.
Or you could be in a neighborhood that's typically 3,000 square feet, and your house happens to be 4,500 square feet, and they're taking that square footage, price per square foot analogy, and applying it to your square foot number. It's going to be so high.
And that does not, we do not go that way. Unfortunately, an appraiser is not going to do that for us. And I have to explain that to people all day long. They're not giving us price per square foot like that. It just does not happen. You know, But there's a lot of things with Zillow that people really don't understand as well.
Here's what hurts you as a buyer. Sometimes, a seller, it hurts you your marketing time. If Zillow says your house is worth a high price and you want to go at that number, you lose marketing time because you're sitting on the market. If Zillow says your house is worth this and you put it on, you might not get to the point because you might not have the right agent that can negotiate $150,000 more than Zillow says. Because the buyer comes in, they're looking at the Zestimate. Zestimate says it's worth 1.525. What do you mean? What? You got to have the right agents negotiating for you. But from a buyer's point of view, you may go in and see that Zestimate and say, hey, this says the Zestimate's worth $650,000 and you've got it listed at $700. We're going to make an offer at $650. Guess what you just did? You just lost a house that really should be $700,000 because the professional agents, the advisors, they went out there, they know what's going on in your market because they're there, they've been in the house, and you just lost the house that you would have paid $700, but you got stuck on your principles because the Zestimate said $650 and you decided not to do it.
Right, and then there's a whole nother, all of the things underneath of Zillow where it says what you should be offering in order to do, and You've got to get off the Zillow, people. Zillow is inaccurate. Not only does it list houses that are no longer for sale, which absolutely kills me. My people are like, oh, let me send you this Zillow listing that I saw. And I'm like, yeah, been under contract or get off their property. It's been sold. All of those things kill me. Stop looking on Zillow. Stop trusting Zillow for accuracy. Stop hitting Zillow for your agents, which are not agents that are educated or know anything.
Let's just talk about this. An agent you get off Zillow, okay? You're not getting the listing agent to begin with because the listing agent is really little down there. Who you get, some agents are transactional. They're all about doing high number of transactions, and they belong to Zillow. They used to have two programs, Premier and Flex. It's kind of moved toward Flex. And so when they do that, Zillow sends all the leads to one team. Now that team, there's lots of requirements on them. The first one is they have to pay Zillow 40% of their commission for that lead. Now, I'm here to tell you, if you're in business, if you work for a company, if somebody told you you had to cut your overhead and take your sales price by 40% across the top before you even start, first of all, can you provide them the same quality level of service losing 40% off the top? You can't do it. You can't provide the hand-holding thing. It becomes transactional. You're just a number to them. The next thing, because of that, top producing agents don't like to go out and take Zillow leads themselves. What they've done is they built a team traditionally of inexperienced agents that go out there and just call those Zillow leads. It's called speed to lead. They sit by their phone. They have a system set up. First one calls them, gets them. Speed to lead. And so what happens then, you're traditionally getting a less experienced agent. They've got an experienced team leader, and the team leader has sat back and said, look, instead of providing high-level service and charging a higher price, not higher price, they don't have to charge higher. They charge the same price. They just give 40% of their profit straight off the top to Zillow, but they can't have the amount of staff we have, the amount of services we have, the amount of marketing for listings we have, because 40% of their income goes out the door before they start.
Yeah, not just 40%, because they also have what's called an ISA, which is somebody who is monitoring these calls and calling them and following up with them because they have to.
Their latest thing is they're pushing those team leaders to where Zillow says, 50% is the target market of your buyers that come through Zillow Flex program need to get qualified with our mortgage lender over here. So that is one of the worst things that can happen is for you to go with a national mortgage lender that is not local in our marketplace. If it's a big national company and they have a local presence, that's okay. But if they are not a local presence mortgage lender, just somebody that Zillow is pushing them to use, because guess what? Zillow makes a piece of that too. Then what you have to understand is it is not going to be a smooth transaction. And professional, high-quality agents, we know that. Here's what goes on. Here's a simple scenario. Agent wants to show the house. Perfect. Great. If it's a high-end house, we're probably going to be there to show it too. And so we're going to ask some questions. The first things, are they pre-qualified? Yes. Okay, who did the pre-qual? Boom. Where are the buyers coming from? That's what happens. It goes silent on the phone. And so,
But most of the time, if it's Zillow, they don't have their pre-qualification because guess what? They just called in and they're afraid to ask for it. So that is 100% what happens on my higher end listings. So they're not getting in my door.
right, because so goes silent. You don't hear a thing. Oh, where did you happen to get this buyer from? Is it a Zillow lead? Yes. So have you met them yet? No. The first time the agent is going to meet them is at the $1 million plus house. We are here to tell you, we're going to push back on that some. We're going to cause some pushback because what we want to know they're pre-qualified. Our clients rely on us to give them advice and do that. And so let's say we get past that. They get us a pre-qual letter. They come to show the house. Let me explain something. Buying higher end homes, buying any home now has become a much more complicated process. It's not just write the offer, send it in, hope you get it with all the other 10. It's not COVID. It is a process to get through it. It takes give and take on both sides.
And trust.
It takes a win-win environment. It takes trust. Do you think that buyer that has never met that agent till they showed up at the house trusts that agent?
No.
They don't. So when the seller says, hey, we'll do this, but we won't do this, do you think that buyer feels their agent has their best interest at heart just because they can't? They don't. Do you think that agent has developed a relationship of trust to where the buyer will listen? Hey, here's what we need to do. Or hey, here's what's normal. Hey, the agent most likely could be in their first or second year in business. I'm willing to bet if I went and got the statistics, that's where they fall into.
100%.
The agent is probably paying 40% of the commission off the top and then splitting what's left, that 60, 50, 50, more than likely, with their team leader.
50, 50, 40, 60.
Yeah. And so they're getting 30% at the most. So guess what? They got to do a ton of deals to make a living, or they are doing this as an agent told one of my agents 2 days ago. I had to bite my lip. The agent said, well, this is just a side hustle for me that I do to get, to supplement my income. This is my side hustle. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I am here to tell you, this is why
Your biggest asset of your life, and it's a side hustle for them.
You don't want to use a Zillow agent. You need somebody to establish a
Another Zillow agent
relationship.
told me that 40% of his transactions have fallen out for the year. They fell out because there's no trust
There's
there.
no trust. The whole process hasn't been followed. We spend an hour to an hour and a half with a buyer up front before showing them houses.
And they already trust me.
So they trust us because they're in our system, we're referred to us, or they're in our database or sphere. But then we spend an hour and a half to make sure they understand the exact process.
Entire process.
I can't imagine having never met somebody and just showing up and say, hey, by the way, I'm Alan. I can't see it happening in today's
I need you to sign
environment.
this commitment that you're going to be committed to me because you have to. Buyer agency.
That's
And we're going to go see this house, and you're going to buy this house for me.
yeah, and that's the way it is. And well, you know, I don't get paid a lot on you, so maybe I don't want to go show you these other 5 houses. Oh my gosh, it's just, I can't imagine that environment. We are so glad that we don't live in that environment. In fact, it's
They're going to be
crazy
pushing them to buy that house.
because we know lots of these Zillow team leaders, and they are phenomenal. And they are phenomenal. The team leaders are phenomenal business people and team leaders and systems people. The team leaders are great. However, we have quite a few of them coming to us. In fact, we're flying out of town next week to meet with one of those team leaders whose team has been like this, has all these leads. They want to know, we're going to spend a full day teaching their team how to go build relationships, because that is where the industry and the market, technology's coming like no tomorrow. The technology, though, the smart ones won't use technology to just fire off and do more deals. They'll use the technology to have time to go build better relationships.
100%.
So, one thing, before you trust that Zillow algorithm out there, I need you to remember it's not the expert.
It's an algorithm.
It is an algorithm. So if you're serious about buying or selling a house, love us,
Call us.
like us, follow us, just see what we have to say every week.
Hire a
that we're out
local
here.
professional. Don't be getting your data, your info from Zillow.
Yep. Until next time, this is Alan.
And Betsy.
See you soon.